thanks so much for taking the time to do this. It's a real pleasure to speak to you.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Well, first things first, how are you? How's things at the moment?
I'm good. Things are good. I am in the midst of planning for the headline gig, which is on the 28th of May. So I'm admin queen today.
Well, okay, is that serving as a nice distraction? Because of course we are just a mere few days away from the release of the debut EP.
Yes, yes. I feel like a lot of my focus is going on the show right now. The EP is sort of doing itself at the moment. Everything is in place and planned. So yeah, it's definitely a distraction, 100%.
Nothing too stressful though, or kind of chilled?
Um, Let that be your answer of I don't know.
Nah, I get it. I get it. Of course, it is the self-titled EP out this Friday, 17th of May. Focus on it for a moment if you can. Where is your head at right now regarding the release? Are you still excited, enjoying the build, that side of things? Or are you kind of at the stage where you just want it out in the world now?
Oh, I've been working on this for a couple of years now. I want to say about 3 years.
Mm.
So I am still very much ready for it to be out and for everyone to hear it and just sort of everyone to hear my point of view and where I was coming from in the makings of it. But just before this call, actually, I was listening to the title track, and man, I just love that song so much. It gets me gassed every time I listen to it. It will never get old. So even if we never end up releasing it, even though we will, if that never comes out, I am so gassed and so excited that we were even capable of making a track that cool and that big. So yeah, I'm still very much present with it, but I just want to share it out for sure.
It's good to hear that you are still present with it because ultimately, as you say, 3 years of build. This is you've moved on to a degree musically, I imagine.
I what, sorry?
You've moved on musically to, I imagine, to a degree. When you're looking at something that you've been working on for 3 years, you almost can't help but look at it in a past tense way. Am I on the right path there?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. So I sort of wrote it whilst I was like going through some stuff. And it is very much past tense, and I've sort of lived that experience now. And like grown as a musician, grown as a person, along with my friend who produced it, Harry Akerman. Yeah, we've definitely been through some life experiences since. Um, but do you know what? It's natural to have an artist sort of evolution and growth period. Yeah, I'm still very much a different person to what I was back then, but yeah, we move.
Yeah. I think it'd be more concerning, perhaps on a personal level, if you were looking at it, like there hadn't been any particular growth in 3 years. Even as a musician, it's naturally going to happen. But what
Yeah.
does it mean overall for you to get this release out?
Oh, I'm just excited for people to hear my point of view on things. I feel
Mm,
like in my normal life, I'm a very much introverted, sort of calm, reserved person. Some people would
okay.
definitely disagree with that. But this EP definitely sings to the fact that, I have got fire, I've got anger, so many different opinions on things. And I sort of want people to experience that side of me that either I'm too scared to sort of release into the world, into the ether, or just never really had the chance to speak my mind. So
Mm.
yeah, I'm excited for people to hear this side of me, and it's a side that not many people have heard, to be fair.
Well, okay, focus on the journey to this particular point then. Specifically the vision. What was the vision in the early days that you wanted to showcase with this EP? Was there one and was it clear?
Do you know what? I came up with this idea in lockdown. Oh no, I said the dreaded L word. In lockdown, and my mind wanders very much all the time. I've got ADHD. I'm thinking about 20 million things at the same time. Um, but I randomly came up with this concept of this character called Queen Laya, and she's sort of like doesn't take any shit, is like a boss bitch in all areas. And I was like, do you know what? I would love to embody that person in my waking life.
Hmm.
Um, and the title track Queen Laya was the first one that actually came, but the last one that we ever finished. And yeah, I used to be interested in Greek mythology years and years ago, talking about primary school.
Hmm.
And I just thought I love that kind of world, like the sort of fantasy, is it real, is it not kind of areas. And I thought, do you know what? I'm gonna base this whole EP on sort of like a myth, an extraterrestrial creature called Queen Laya kind of thing. And honestly, it just kind of went from there. I didn't really have any idea of what I wanted to do. Me and Harry, as I say, we just went for it. There was no preconception of what we
Hmm.
wanted. Just kind of went with the flow.
So you've almost got like a foundation, like you said. You have this idea of this character and what you want a character to portray, and what you want to have this basis in this mythological view. But how do you
Mhm.
go from that? I mean, there's a lot of dots in the way. You go from that to where we are today.
Yeah.
There's a lot in between. How can you put into words how you got to this stage?
Oh, I feel like my burst of trying to tell people what I want and what I want to say. Yeah, my expression, I feel
Hmm.
like, because I've suppressed so much in the past, in lockdown, I mean, it was a hard time for everyone. So at that point, I was like, okay, I'm like bursting with all these things now and I have to express, otherwise I'm gonna self-implode or whatever.
Hmm.
I think that expression mixed with Harry, the producer's instrumentation, he's so sick at guitar and producing and everything. I mean, I love rock, he loves rock, but I'm also a massive like soul head. I think mixing those together really just did create like the sonic output of the album, of the EP, sorry. Yeah.
Is it fair to say, and I guess this might be hard to answer, that if lockdown hadn't happened, would this exist as it does now? It might still have come about, but do you think it would be what it is now if that you didn't have that period to be this creative?
Hell no. Hell no. I think lockdown gave me the sort of opportunity to feel my feels and
Hmm.
get in like so introspective, and it was a very transformative time. So I think an EP would have come from lockdown, oh sorry, from not having a lockdown. But it definitely gave my mind a rest and to think about, oh, what's really important here? What do I really want to go for and aim for in life and and as a musician? Um, yeah, that outcome would have been very, very different. I mean, I was still having life experiences, obviously everyone does before, and like all these hardships, but yeah, it was a very interesting time. It would have been very
Yeah.
different if not.
It is. It's a fascinating look back in the history of only a few years ago, and it's always great to hear that, regardless of so many negative things that came from that period, there are positive stories
Mm,
of creativity coming from it.
definitely, 100%.
Is it fair to call this EP a coming out party for Queen Leia, so to speak? The
I think
arrival.
so. Yeah, I love that expression. Coming out party, 100%. This is like the coming of age. Are we allowed to say that? I don't know. Is that a negative term? Who knows? The coming of age of Queen Leia.
Oh no, it's cool. But we have 6 tracks overall, and obviously several are already out in the world too. The reaction to those singles, have they created a positive mindset for you regarding how you think the full EP will be received?
Yes, 100%. Yeah. They've done so well. I'm super proud. Each one is my little baby. They've just
Hmm.
sort of ushered on into the ether. And it definitely sets up for the rest of the tracks that other people haven't heard for sure. It's like hinting at all these little things along the way. And then, yeah, 17th of May, massive, massive things are coming. Yeah, set it up perfectly.
And obviously, alongside the songs, we've had some pretty amazing videos. Rage, Image and Likeness of the End, and Rapture, Cult in particular. They are spectacular videos. And I have to ask then, how important is the visual aspect of Queen Laya's music to you then? Like getting a video to go along with the music and it to be really, really as strong as the song.
Yeah, super important. I actually, most of the time, whilst I'm writing the songs, come up with the music video in my head, as if
Hmm.
like someone's pressing play as I'm writing, and I can literally already see it in front of me. Um, and it's just so wonderful when the fusion of like creative art, visual art, and music comes together. It's kind of like a movie for sure. Um, yeah, and it just gives like me more of a platform to give the people more of an insight on what I'm seeing and who I'm about and what sort of thing I'm going to go for. Yeah, very important to me actually. It's another level of creativeness that I want to explore more as well. So
Absolutely. Sometimes it can really allow creative juices to flow in a different way, but ultimately, what your imagination can create and what you're able to do are two different things. Have you found that in regards to what you've tried to create video-wise, where what you can picture in your head, you're not able to do in reality, either because of funds, time, you name it, all the things that would limit you?
yeah, 100%. And it happens all the time, daily even. And I'm sure it does with loads of other artists. Finding the funds, I'm sure you know, like in this industry is absolutely wacky, but you know, if nothing comes of it in the end, I want to be able to say, look, I did that on a limited budget and it's still
Mm.
insane. And yeah, if nothing comes of it, I can at least be like, I enjoyed the heck out of making this stuff. I enjoyed the whole process from start to end. And like, even if it's just for me and I'm the only one that ever watches it, like the pride and like I'm absolutely beaming every time I watch my things still, like the videos, the songs, like yeah, like I said before, like I never thought that I'd be capable of this sort of thing, especially doing it as an independent artist. Like I'm super grateful and yeah, just so proud at every single step of the way.
It's incredible what you've done with some of those videos. In particular, Image and Likeness at the End is truly
Thank you.
spectacular.
Oh, thank you.
Each track, has something to say. Each track resonates, even if, depending on a person, the subject matter may not be necessarily relatable. There is still something there to be heard. How important is it for you to show the human side of Queen Leia?
I feel like in this day and age, especially with social media, things and people try to be what they're not. And I
Hmm.
constantly find myself comparing myself to people, and I know other people do it all the time. You know, we are human. It's only natural to, do what humans do. Like, I don't want Queen Leia. I mean, she is this massive, like, goddess, ethereal creature, but she's also really relatable. She's been through some shit.
Hmm.
And I don't want people to sort of put her or me on this like pedestal or on this hierarchy of like this big glorious thing, because she is that, but also she came from somewhere. She's still like a human being.
Yeah, well put. Because my first experience with your music was a visual more than anything else. Before I heard a particular track, see a certain couple of pictures, and it's larger than life is the words that come to mind. And
Oh,
then you hear it, and then you listen to the lyrics, and you get a little bit more from that. That takes confidence, though. To speak your mind and expose vulnerabilities and areas like that. So where does the strength on a personal level come from to allow yourself to be able to speak like this?
I think I journal a lot. I journal every single day.
Mhm.
Word vomit, 100% on the page. And yeah, a couple years ago, I was like, well, I realized that I'm a people pleaser. Been to therapy, talked about all that kind of stuff. But I was like, what is the point of being a people pleaser, of caring what people think, of trying to stay small, to you know, yeah, please other people to make them feel better about themselves. What is the
Hmm.
actual point? Because in the end, we just end up miserable. And what do I get out of that? Nothing. Um, so yeah, one day upon journaling, I was literally like, I don't give a toss anymore. I have like spent my whole life trying to make myself feel small to appease other people. And honestly, it was like that. One day it literally just clicked and I was like, I'm not doing that anymore. No particular reason. I was like, no, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. I've been miserable, and yeah, it just came from there really. And I naturally, like I said, I'm I'm an introvert, and I'm really quite shy at times. Obviously, got to turn the on switch sometimes. But yeah, it literally one day I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. It's not fair on me, and it's not fair on anyone else. So yeah,
Switch just flicked. That's incredible.
it really just honestly one day. There we go.
But you're able to identify it as well, which is so awesome. The fact that you're able to look and go, that was the moment when it changed. And I guess anytime sort of self-doubt or, less assurance creeps in, you can always reflect on that and remember that moment and it push you back maybe.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I can even probably pinpoint. I could find the page in my diary and be like, that was where the gold struck. Yeah, yeah. Special, very
Ha-
special actually.
Has a lot of your journaling kind of inspired a lot of sometimes like lyric writing in particular?
Pretty much every single every single song, every single lyric. Or if I'm stuck for lyrics, I'll be like, oh, the 21st of June, 2023, what's I going through? And then be like, ah, there we go. Yeah. If anyone finds those diaries, I'm screwed.
They are only going to be super, super personal stuff, but ultimately you're all sharing
Yeah.
it through the Queen Laya spectrum. But obviously, with that, as much as you want to get your voice out there and you want to get your music out there, comes with challenges. You know this, and there are some mighty big ones that you'll face in the future and you're facing right now. So, what have been up to this point some of the bigger challenges you faced with getting the name and the music of Queen Leia out there?
hmm we touched on it before, but financial stuff for myself and the whole of the world, trying to,
Mm,
do a full-time job. Basically, I work, but I would say about 85% of my income goes on my music.
yeah.
And I live, be social, expenses is the rest on that like little 15%. So I'm 100% working to put out my music, not for like any other reason at all, apart
Hmm.
from to live. That has actually been the biggest struggle so far. Yeah, but like quitting's not an option.
Yeah.
It's just not even on the radar. Like we as musicians and creatives in general love what we do so much so that if we were to quit or to give up, like it would be the beginning of the end of the world,
Mm,
of our world sort of thing. Yeah, it's not an option to quit, but every day we find a new something to help us progress along the way, along the journey. Yeah, I mean there's always other struggles, but that's been the most prominent one.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, for anyone listening, there's always funding out there. You can get it, or slave your way at a second day job or something. I don't know, but yeah, we will always make it work.
What about the awful aspect of promoting your name, promoting the name of Queen Leia, and in regards to what you have to do, whether you like it or not, and jump through the hoops of, say, social media and algorithms and
Yeah.
Spotify demands and so on? How do you handle that side of things? Have you okayed the selling of your soul, so to speak, with it?
Ah, what a topic. My favorite topic. Uh, I go through phases of being like, what is this? What the
Mm,
F is this? I'm a musician. Like, I should just be creating and like playing in the sea and trying to get all these ideas, frolicking in grass, all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's a business. It's just like any other business. You have to market yourself. You have to be able to literally be able to approach people. Hey, I've got this gig. Do you want to come? Da, 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 da. Because if I don't do it, and if the people on my team and the people that are backing me, if they don't do it, then we don't have a brand, we don't have a gig, we don't have a whatever. Um, the algorithm is a bitch. I'm not gonna lie
Mm.
to you, it is. We may never understand it. That's
Mm.
why it's important that first and foremost we do it for ourselves and for our own fulfillment and enjoyment. But then secondary, yeah, it is a business. But what are you doing if you're not enjoying it? Do you know what I mean?
Have you found a way to make that side of things, the promotional side of things, enjoyable for yourself?
Do you know what? I feel like I've only just got into the swing of it. I really
Hmm.
do. It is such a long, winding path to get there. It's not always enjoyable, like just like everything. Um, but finding new, innovative ways, like turn the entrepreneurship mind on. Um, I think it's all about what sets you apart from the different artists that are on
Yeah.
the scene at the moment. Yeah, you've got to think outside the box.
Yeah. Do you have the answer though? Do you have a clear route?
Oh, I think every route is going to be different for every artist, depending on what their brand is. I honestly think just do whatever you enjoy, make it
Mm.
authentic. And I think things, if you're doing it like well enough, I think things will fall in place because people can 100% tell your energy. People can feel that even through a screen. If you're enjoying it and it's your real true self, I think after time things will fall into place.
100% agree. I always like to tell people don't stress about it because even if you spent a month learning and working out the right times to post and the right content and the right video length and all of this stuff and
Mhm.
perfect that algorithm, in 12 months' time, it will completely change on the whim of a developer and you start from scratch again.
Yep,
So why
exactly.
stress?
100%. Yeah. And sometimes it can be totally random.
Mhm.
There's some, like, I found there's not like a rhyme or reason to some things. So yeah, just do it for you.
Get those hashtags right. But anyway, right, let's
Yeah.
flip it around into a more positive thing. And the Queen Leia journey to date. I wanted you to talk me through, if you can, some of the highlights of your experience so far, getting to the point we're at right now. We're a few days away from the release of the EP. And of course, you
Mhm.
have the show at the end of May. What have been some of your highlights of your journey?
Oh, wow. I think hearing Rage was our first single. Hearing that on Radio 1 for the first time,
Mm.
I screamed the house down. I was like, this is my shit. Like, what the actual hell? That was insane. Hearing the first mix back for the title track, Queen Laya, Reese May, who mixed it, absolute wondrous human being. I think he did one draft and I was like, I have no notes. It's perfect. It's literally perfect. I think I cried at that point. I was on a bus on my way back home from a rehearsal. But I listened to it. I was like, this is absolutely everything to me. Oh wow, that might even have to be the number one highlight. And also doing the Rage music video. Like it was even better than I could have imagined. Like that
Yeah.
location, the whole team came together so perfectly. Picked the most amazing people to feature in the video, to film the video, and their teams to sort of help and get on board on the day. It's just sort of like, when you like the realization of being like, I have created this empire of amazing, beautiful people. And I'm so lucky to be surrounded by such creative and just, yeah, wonderful, amazing people. Like yeah, it does bring a tear to my eye right now, even. Yeah, definite highlight so far, but more to come.
Well, that isn't it. That's it, isn't it? As great as this that stuff's been, and the experience you've had so far, there's so much more to come. We have the release of the EP, but also May 28th, of course, at the Grace in London, Queen Leia live with tickets on sale now. How excited are you for this? And sum up what an attendee could expect.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm still very nervous.
Hmm.
Uh, I get very nervous for my gigs. But you know that I first got into music because I just love performing live. This is where it's at for me. Although the whole making process is great, live and feeling that human interaction, all the energy in the room gets me so gassed. Yeah, I can't figure mate. But
Mm.
also to what you can expect. How do I put this? I want to say like a massive fusion of like power in the energy kind, but also the vocal musicality. Sprinkle a little bit of sass. You've got your sexy like riffs. I want people to be in the mosh. I'm trying to think of the word to describe this perfectly. I want to say like electrifying, but it sounds like
Mm.
Grease, you know, Grease. It's electrifying.
But
Kind of like that,
but it conjures up the image, sparks
yeah.
flying, bouncing off everyone, it being thick in the air. You can feel it. It makes the hairs in your body stand up straight. I've done a fair few electrifying gigs over my years, experienced them. Hell, are you familiar with the Grace?
Yes, yes, I've performed there before actually. Yeah, it's great. I
There you
love it.
go. It's a wicked venue. It's a perfect place for it. Yeah, and if it gets warm, if it's a warm day, it's even better because then you're really going to feel that electricity.
Yep, the sweat's gonna be dripping.
All right, let's look a little bit ahead here. What roughly, and I guess you probably can't share too much, but just give me an overview if you can. The rest of 2024, what does it look like for Queen Laya? And particularly, a rough plan. Do you have one as we move into 2025? How long term are we talking here?
Oh, so I think I would love to get onto onto some support tours. We're
Mm,
sending feelers out. So if anyone's listening and you want a really cool support act, hit us up. Um, I think I would love to do some collaborations and singles next.
okay.
That's very much in my plan. There's just so many cool musicians out there that I want to work
Mm,
with or write with, even if it's not releasing with them, just like writing, like two different minds coming together. Wow, you could achieve so much. So yeah, I want to say collabs and singles, support tour. I know you're there somewhere. Um, but also I would absolutely love to do a stripped back version of this EP. You know how
mm,
the bands go into like Abbey Road and like do like the orchestral versions. Ah, that would be an absolute dream. Yeah.
mm,
Um, next year, who knows? Maybe another EP.
mm.
But yeah, those are very much in the forefront of my mind so far.
What is the obvious thing stopping you from potentially doing that stripped up version of the EP?
Whew. In myself, nothing.
Hmm.
I'll do it tomorrow if I could.
Right.
Yeah, it's finding the budget. I think in my mind I even know the musicians that I want to like. I want to extend it. Yeah, orchestral, different sort of like vibes. I did that as a, like in my mind. I've got like
Yeah.
a djembe or something playing in the background. Yeah, it really is just budget. I could pull
Hmm.
it together like that as well if I wanted to. Yeah, so fingers crossed we'll get there.
Would you ever consider doing a Kickstarter or something like that potentially further down the line? I know they can be a little bit of a dangerous sort of area to tread into.
Hmm. When you say Kickstarter, what do you mean?
Oh, I'm trying to like a GoFundMe. It's basically where
Oh,
you're kickstarting a project. It's I
oh,
can't remember what the
like a crowdfunding thing.
yeah, it's a crowdfunding thing. I cannot remember if it's Kickstarter that majority of musicians use or if there's another platform. It's the one that just jumped to mind. But
Hmm.
basically a crowdfunding platform, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I would, and I have thought about it for sure.
Mm,
I think times are hard, especially at the moment economically, and I'm not sure if I'd feel 100% okay, you know, asking for people for money, but you know, it is their will if they want
yeah.
to sort of give those funds like and like invest it in me as an artist. Um, but yeah, I just know there's so much crap and nonsense going on at the moment with like yeah, the economic state. But you know, maybe I could tie it in together with like hey, half of this album is yours. It's not just for me, it's for you, or for this stripped back EP, you know. It's
Mm.
mine as it is yours. Like, have your say. What do you want me to do? How do you want me to do this? And sort of do it like that. So that could be a
And
good option for sure.
and immediately that's way more innovative, as we were talking about before, way more innovative and attention grabbing than just, hey, can you fund my release, please? And I'll give you the
Mm.
release when it's out.
Yeah, exactly.
So ultimately, it's fair to say that whatever the future holds over the next year to 2 years for Queen Laya, you have a vision, and it's simply about getting that vision started and acted, and what you're going to be able to do, which is nice because obviously there's a lot more attention being poured your way, coming your way. It seems like Queen Laya is beginning to mean a lot more to a lot of different people out there. You just read comments and you read posts and social media to get an idea of that. So for you though, personally, what does Queen Laya mean to you?
Oh, she is the person, and I am speaking in third person because I do feel a separation,
Hmm.
alter ego, if you will. She is the ultimate queen, bad bitch, like someone who I've always wanted to be. Who, you know, in times when I'm scared or going through a hard time or not sure what like direction to go in, you know, I'll be like, oh, what would Queen Leia do in this situation? It's sort of a guiding figure, and yeah, it's really comforting in times because, you know, the potential in me and in people who have their own Queen Leia, the potential is there. You've literally just got to do it. And I always say, everything you want is on the other side of fear. Everything. You just have to do it.
Hmm.
You just have to ignore being scared, take the risk, and just do it, and you will be rewarded with whatever you desire. Yeah, she's my reminder of that, I think.
Fabulous advice. It's easier said than done,
Yeah.
but if you can manage it, damn good advice. Right, I just want a couple more minutes of your time if you don't mind. This
Oh,
is Ozzy Osbourne, and in his head are random cards of everything and everything, including many submissions from bands and artists we've spoken to over the years, offering up their questions. It's all in the name of fun. There is nothing particularly controversial in here or troublesome. I'm just going to pull some out at random, and if you don't mind, answer them.
yeah. Ozzy Osbourne, let's have it.
Okay, it's time for a shot. What are you ordering?
Sambuca.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Not a fan.
Not anymore. You must have one or two drinks, right? That if you smell, taste, or go in there, you kind of get a bad memory. Sambuca's one of
Yeah,
them for me.
yeah. Fair play. As in, what's my one?
Oh, yeah, you got one?
Oh yeah, that mine's tequila. Oh
Ah,
god, no. I could tell you a bad story about that, but I don't think you want to know it.
share if you want. It's up to you.
Oh, me and my friend, one of my best pals since like secondary school, went to my uni flat one time, and we were in Tesco's and we were like, oh, what should we have for dinner? Let's get a really massive paella and tequila. And we watched the Titanic and we were like, every time Rose says, I can't remember what it was, water or something, every time she says this word, let's have a shot of tequila. It ended badly. The tequila was flying out my window, as in the tequila in me was flying out the window. I vomited in the violin case that I have on my floor, random, but yeah, it was very messy.
All been there. Okay, what is a recent experience that made you feel old?
Oh God. Wow, I really don't know. That is a very good question. I don't feel old that often. I feel
That's
I'm a
good.
very playful, uh, energied person. I feel like as long as you're playing, as in literally like a child, I'm playing, I'm being stupid and silly and dumb. You will never feel old. Yeah,
Mm.
I honestly have no clue. Next.
Yep, it's if you ain't got one, you ain't got one. Okay, then your happy place, where is it?
In my bedroom,
Yeah.
on my bed, sunny day. I'm cuddling my big massive pillow and I'm falling asleep to my chill playlist. Ah, oh, can't beat it. You really can't. Either there or the beach.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's quite a contrast,
I know.
beach and bedroom.
I think the sun has got a lot to do with it. My happy place, the sun has to be shining on the perfect spot in my bed, like I'm a little cat, and I'll just do the little, the little squish into the duvet, like the cat, and then yeah, sun at the beach. There's nothing like it, is there? I don't know. I
Yeah,
love it.
no, 100% agree. We happen to live in England, so any appearance of the sun is worthy of a celebration.
Oh yeah.
Okay, sushi, yay or nay?
Yay,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, big sushi fan.
Hmm.
Are we when we say sushi, are we talking though, are we talking like the good stuff, or are we talking Tesco's, you know,
I mean,
freezer
sushi is
section?
sushi. Sushi? Sushi is sushi. Sushi is sushi, but the good gourmet stuff is the best. Tesco's, I'll dabble, but yeah, the good stuff is the good stuff.
I only pull them out because I got a bone to pick with them. They gave me sushi food poisoning many years ago, so I haven't quite
No.
forgiven them, you know?
Oh, don't. That's the unforgivable curse, the bad sushi.
There it is. The world is going to end in 24 hours. What are you doing?
I'm gonna go for a swim at the beach, hang out with my fam and friends, have a nice big barbecue. This can all happen in one day, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
We just
not early in
need
the
the
morning.
whole 24 hours to do this. I'm gonna eat fajitas. Yeah, the sea, fajitas, family barbecue. I'm gonna party to my tunes and dance a lot the whole time, even in the sea.
It's a good time. Absolutely. Okay, two more. What is the last thing you do before you go to sleep?
I mean, in real life, look at my phone. But on a good day, journal or read a book and hug a big hot water bottle because it's just really comforting.
Yeah. Okay. You do you said, use your phone, but you laughed. I presume like we shouldn't do it basically, yeah?
Yeah, so bad for
Yeah.
you.
We can't
I'm a
help it, right?
slave. I'm a slave to my phone. Yeah.
I'm the same. I know I shouldn't, but yeah,
We're
it is
cut
what
from
it
the same
is.
cloth.
All right, lastly then, what is something you would like to understand better? This could be from any aspect of life.
What a question. You picked the right person to ask this.
Mhm.
What do I want to understand more? I feel like I'm a very understanding person, very empathetic. And I always try, I think through my own uh exploration of self, I'm always looking into why other people do things.
Hmm.
And there's always a reason. Um I really don't know. What do I want to understand more? Do you know what? I'm actually at a loss. I don't know. Can you give me some ideas? What do you want to understand more?
What would I like to understand more? Oh
This is
man,
a
yeah.
great question.
There's gonna be so many things that I guess I would like to understand. All right, okay. All right, there it is. This is so boring, but it is 100% the case. So, in the
Yeah, of
last
course.
2 weeks or so, I have been forced, just through crapness, to move video editing software.
Uh-huh.
Like after this, I will have to edit this video and I will have to tidy it up and trim things up and add effects and stuff like that and all of that. And
Yeah.
my previous video anyway started to crap out on me and cause massive issues that were delaying me with interviews and stuff like that. So I switched video editing software, and I need, I need to understand that better. It's that I wish I could understand, right, video editing software fully, like
Yeah.
properly. What I'm doing
Uh,
is the most basic stuff, and it works and it's good and all that. But there are so many drop down menus with, oh, you can do this and all that. And fair enough, I'm not a filmmaker. I'm not trying to create a film here, but it would still be nice to have the time and the willingness to sit there and then read and understand all these stupid bloody menus that are offering modifications and things like that. That would be nice. That and Photoshop. I wish I had the time and the energy to be really good at something like that. It is incredibly boring, but right now that's all I can think of.
Hell yeah, I like that answer. That is a very good answer. And you've triggered an answer in me. I'm trying to get rid of so many different things in my house. Clothes, shoes. I just don't want to be a hoarder of too many things, clear mind
Hmm.
when you've got clear surroundings. Therefore, I would like to know, why isn't there an app, right? Someone might coin this, right, from me saying it. Why isn't there an app where I can upload all my things to Depop, to Vinted, to eBay, to Etsy, all at the same time? Why do I have to upload it 5 different times? That is what I want to know. Maybe I should start that.
I am gonna take a punt and say I'm gonna take a
Pretty got
punt
the answer.
that it's probably going to be really simply related to the fact that they would all have to agree to work together in a way that allowed that,
Oh,
and that they're never going to, because they're all fighting for the same space effectively to a degree. They're
so
not. I mean, I guess it's like, why can't we put a post up that automatically goes to Facebook, Twitter, and like at the same time? You
true.
can't, because obviously it's Meta and it's X or whatever it's
Yeah,
called now. So I mean, like, I guess it's pure. I'm guessing about. I imagine it's just rivalry stuff more than anything
probably.
else.
Why can't they just all get along? I'm joking.
Well, ideally, right?
How
Why
dare
can't
they? Just be
why
friends.
can't Spotify and Apple Music and all of them just work together and also at the
Yeah,
same
why
time
isn't
pay
there one
artists?
platform? Oh,
Yeah, and then maybe they could agree to pay artists fairly, and everybody would be
right?
so much happier.
That's the ideal world, anyway.
Yes, it is. It is an ideal world, but that is where we're at. And we will be at the release of the self-titled debut EP this Friday, the 17th of May, self-titled as in Queen Laya. And of course, on the 28th of May, the Grace London, those tickets are in sale now. Do try and get down to it and just stream your stuff. And I don't know, what else can they do? What else can a person do to really, push on? Just shout your name, right?
Yeah. Share my music, share my posts with as many people as possible. I want to reach all the ears of my community. I want to find my people.
Mm-hmm.
Spread them out like that. Be like, hey, there's this girl. She's really cool. Have you heard of her? This is her song. That I would be so grateful for that. And it doesn't cost you anything. It's for free. Yeah. Spread the word of Queen Laya, because she's the best.
Simple as that. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I really appreciate it.
Yay, thank you so much for having me. I enjoyed that so much.
Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It is gratefully appreciated. You can find us over at gbhbl.com, our full website, where reviews, news, and so much more goes up daily. We're also on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, at GBHBL. Just search for GBHBL and you will find us out there. We also have merchandise on sale. You can access the shop via the website.